Hi, and welcome to Voice of Truth. Have you ever heard the saying, monkey see, monkey do? And this reminds me of the importance of being a mentor and really mentoring someone or your children. And children are so observant, are they not? Monkey see, monkey do. So the little monkey in the family is watching the parents all the time. And not just watching, but listening. And what they're taking in through their eyes and what they're taking in through their ears goes into different compartments in the brain. So what happens is that information goes in and then it starts to create a response. So when we have children, and right from the get-go, the child is still sentient. In other words, the soul has come in, and now the soul is still very, very apparent, still very, very there, still shining brightly. And so the child is really of a higher consciousness and watching and listening to the parents all the time. And so as it's doing that child's watching and listening to us, what are we doing as parents? And you might think that the baby sitting in the high chair can't understand what you're saying. But it's really not about the words that you're using, it's the tone of your words that you're using. And the child hears that. So if the child's listening to the tone, that vibration of maybe anger or despair or harshness, and if it's happening a lot, the child starts to recognize that there's a certain way of communication that needs to be held in the household. And the child then also starts to interpret as how the tone of the language is being used and directed. So this whole time the child is what? Getting habits, right? It's developing habits of how it is supposed to be in the household. This gets into another conversation of conditional and unconditional love. That the child is observing that if mommy talks to daddy like this, and with anger in the voice, and then sees daddy come back and apologize, and like watching all of that, this is learning. The child is learning from you. The child's also observing what you're eating, what you're drinking. Like it's just this big sponge that's soaking in all this information. So if you know or you are aware that you have some bad habits that you'd like to correct, now is the time to change those, especially if you have a young child. Because we don't really learn with words, right? We learn by actions. We learn by watching and observing others. And that is when we come into our full potential. So just a little exercise in observation as to how you can be a better parent and how you can teach your children from a very young age how to eat better, how to treat themselves better, how to love unconditionally, how to see the world in positive eyes instead of negative eyes. I mean, that I got a big story on that one. But anyways, these are just some things that you can look at, observe, and then, watch your child and see, are they starting to repeat? Are they starting to act like you, say things like you, eat things like you? So if you want your child to have a good diet, then not a good idea to be taking them to, a fast food place, right? You want to show them, you want to teach them at a very young age how to put good food in their bodies. how to be a better person. But they need good teachers, and it all starts at home. So I hope that helps. You can reach me at phoenixrisinghealingcenter.com, YouTube, and Instagram. And don't forget, subscribe and like. Thank you so much. See you next time.